Hi friends, I'm here with a yoga offering. As always, please go at your own pace, rest whenever you need to, and feel free to skip things or change things if they're not working for you today. Let's begin on our backs. You can come into a savasana type position. Go ahead and spread out. And either close your eyes or take a soft gaze up towards the ceiling. Start to slow down your breath. Allowing the backside of your body to release into the floor. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open them as it's useful for you. Let's begin by sliding arms overhead and stretching out long through your arms and legs, reaching through your fingers and your toes. And then interlace your fingers and press out through your palms. Flex your feet, reaching through the heels of your hands, the heels of your feet. And then release and bring your right knee to your chest. Give that knee a good squeeze in. And then straighten this leg up towards the ceiling, holding somewhere behind your leg. Flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. Bend your knee in, open it out to the right, and then straighten part way or all the way out to the side, grounding down through the back of the left leg. In each shape, seeing what's useful to engage and what is there to let go of here. Let's release, bend the knee, and bring it across. Spinal twist. Staying in your twist, try straightening your right leg on a low diagonal, right arm on a high diagonal, letting fingers and toes reach away from one another. And then roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in. Take a little circle or rock with your knees, massaging the lower back and sacrum into the floor. And then grab hold of just the left knee. Drop the right leg long. Squeeze this knee in close. And then straighten the left leg up. Flex and point. Circle your ankle a couple times. Both directions. Bend your knee in, open your knee out to the left, and then straighten part way or all the way out to the side, grounding down through the back of the right leg. And then release. Bend your knee, bring it across. Spinal twist. First with a bent knee. What are you noticing here? Staying in your twist, try straightening the left leg on a low diagonal, left arm on a high diagonal. Each new shape is an opportunity to explore what's it like to be in this body now. Let's release, roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in, a little circle or rock. And then make your way up to sitting. Coming into a comfortable cross-legged position. If you have something you want to sit up on, you might grab it, a blanket or cushion. And take the right arm up. Bend it straight back on itself. Grab your elbow and take it back. And as you do this, drop the ribs, draw the belly in. You may want to move around a little bit. What's it like to be here? What are you noticing, learning about being in your body now? Let's release. Right arm up, open it out, take it across, hook with the other arm and hug it in, drawing back through the right shoulder so you're square across the front. And as you're noticing things, it may come up. I don't even know how to describe this. What is this part of my body? Don't have words for it. That's okay. You don't have to have words for what you're noticing. We don't need to be limited by language, by what we've been taught already. Let's release, arm out. Rotate your thumb to point down, take it around behind the back of the hand is at the waist, interlace fingers at your waist, pull the knuckles around towards the front, elbows go towards one another, and then circle your right shoulder. So the more we get in there and just feel around, we are going to be learning through trial and error, through noticing how it feels today. If you do something differently, noticing how that feels. That's information gathering. Keeping fingers interlaced, reach both arms back, open up the chest. Fold forward. And this could be just dropping your head or coming part way or all the way to the floor. Exploring what your limits are, not going beyond them, but right up to them. What's possible for this body now? Let's release, come up, hands to knees, round back. Lean away from hands on knees, drop your chin. Roll your way back up, recross the legs. Let's take the left arm up, bend it straight back on itself, grab your elbow and take it back. And the more intimately familiar I am with my own limits, the more free I can be with my body. If I'm not sure how things are going, I need to be a lot more careful. So getting in there, feeling around, learning how it is to be in this body as it's always changing, frees you up to be a little bit more playful. Let's release, left arm up, open it out, take it across, hook with the other arm, hug it in, draw back through your shoulder. And if there are places that you do need to be careful about, an injury or something that's feeling precious or tender, then go slower. Pay even closer attention, not necessarily avoiding it, but being extra cautious and more presence. Let's release, arm out, thumb points down, wrap it around. This time when you go to interlace your fingers, try the other thumb on top. Elbows go towards one another, and then circle your left shoulder. This is one of the reasons why I like to do a similar practice often, so that my attention isn't on how to do it or what's happening, but can be tuned into the subtlety. How is this different than the last time I did it? What am I noticing now? Let's reach both arms back, open up the chest, and then fold any amount. So it could be just a slight tilt, could be coming all the way. Release, come up, hands to knees, round back. Lean away from your hands on your knees, drop your chin. And roll your way back up. Let's bring the feet to the floor, hip width apart. Shift your hands to the floor in front of your feet and take a rock front to back. So as you rock your weight forward, look for a stretch through the toes. As you rock your weight back, look for a stretch through the calves, ankles, Achilles tendon, and go as slow as you need to. So you're being careful, but exploring your full range. And that may look very different from my full range. We have different bodies. That's okay. Drop your heels, lift your hips, and come to hang in ragdoll. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. You can take any arm position, including using support through your arms. So if this feels too tight for your hamstrings or back or neck, you might want to rest elbows on thighs or hands on ankles. Wherever you are, how much can you let go here? Can you feel the heaviness of your head hanging, muscles of your face releasing? Let's plant the hands near the front of the mat. Step back into a high push-up position. Let's hold here several breaths. Plank pose, working core strength, reaching out through the head, back through the heels. If this is at all tender for your wrists, you might instead come down to your forearms, holding plank on the forearms. But see if you can feel a connection from your head to your heels. You might even take a little rock front to back to feel the relationship. Core supporting you. And then go ahead and lower all the way down onto your belly. Let's take a little back bend. Could be very subtle. You can test the waters if you want to go deeper. Cobra, Sphinx, up dog, any back bend. And feel free to move around a little. How is this? What are you noticing here? Again, not being limited by the words you might use to describe it, but feeling. And then let's come back to downward facing dog. You can tuck your toes, lift the hips up and back. You may want to pedal out the feet a little bit, bending one knee as you press the opposite heel towards the floor, waking up the backs of the legs. As you settle onto 2 feet evenly, feel free to have the heels up or down, your knees bent or straight. Tending to the details you are aware of. Continuing to be curious, even in a pose you may have done many, many times before. Let's drop the knees and sink back to child's pose. Releasing hips to the heels, forehead to the floor, letting go, allowing the weight of your body to settle. Still keeping that slow, deep breath. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left and then pull back through the right hip, stretching right side a little more. Come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through the left hip, stretching left side a bit more. Come back to center. Let's lift up through table. Come back through down dog. Bend your knees, look forward and lightly hop or step your feet to the front of your mat. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Coming into mountain pose. Let's take a full A series sun salutation. Next inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. Let's take 5 deep breaths. That could be in down dog, but it could just as well be in child's pose, or sitting, or on your forearms or knees, any neutral shape. Last breath here. Let's come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward, inhaling flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Again, inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog. This time from down dog, when you're ready, take the right leg up, bend your knee in, and start circling this bent right knee, making the biggest circle possible for your hip joint. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, send it a little higher, and then a big step forward, high lunge. Let's hold here with hands on the floor, or if you have blocks, you might use blocks or something like that. Make sure your right knee is right above the ankle. If your knee is forward of the ankle, bring it further forward, bring your foot further forward. As you inhale, lengthen the back leg a little straighter. As you exhale, sink hips a little lower. Just a slight pulse here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink. One more breath like this. Now as you inhale, straighten the front leg, part way or all the way. Just going to your hamstring stretch, and then exhale, slow, deep bend. Take the full breath to arrive. Inhale, yawning open. If it's difficult to reach the floor, maybe using blocks. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. One more like this. Lengthen. And bend. Inhale, step back. Exhale, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. Please take the time you need for all your transitions. From down dog, when you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Bend your knee in and start circling. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, send it a little higher, and then a big step forward, high lunge. If your foot doesn't make it far enough there, you can pick it up and bring it there, or shimmy the back foot back. Feel free to grab some blocks. As you inhale, lengthen just the back leg a little longer. As you exhale, sink hips low. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink. One more breath like this. Lengthen. And sink. And we'll straighten the front leg part way or all the way as you inhale. Exhale, slow, deep bend. Inhale, lengthen, going to your hamstring stretch. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. One more like this. Lengthen. And bend. Inhale, step back. Lower down. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog or child's pose or sitting, any neutral shape, letting go. Let's come back through down dog and into a pigeon pose, right side. Slide the right knee forward, scoot back through the left leg. Help the hips get as low as they'll go. See if some support might be useful, a little something under the right hip or chest or forehead. Settling the weight of your body towards the floor, into your props or the floor. Is there anything to release here? Last breath here. Let's bring the upper body back up. Take your time. If you have something under your right hip, slide it out of your way so that you can lean to the right. And let's bring the left knee forward, getting set up for half hero. On the left side, you might roll your calf muscle out of the way. Try and have the shin in nice and close, toes pointing straight back, knee pointing straight ahead. If this is too tight, a lift under the hips can help. make it less tight, or if it's the ankle that's bothering you, slide a little something rolled up, socks, a towel, some padding under there could help. So we're going to lean back onto the hands. Lift the hips for a moment, tuck the tail, and release the hips back down. So you're opening up the crease in the front of the left hip. This might be plenty. We're looking for a quad stretch. Hopefully you feel this in the quad and hip flexor. If you don't, try tucking the tail more. You can also explore going lower. You might come down to just the right elbow, both elbows. Some people may want to come all the way back. It's not necessarily better to go further down. It's finding what height gives the best stretch for your quad and hip flexor without pain or overarching in the lower back, without torquing in the knee. For some bodies, no amount of adjusting is going to make this work. If your knee does not like this, don't do it. You could do an alternative pose by being on your side and taking the heel back in that way. So finding what variation feels right for you right now. To release, lean to the right, straighten that left leg out. Give a little rub to the knee or ankle, working out any tightness from that last pose. And we'll fold over that straight left leg, janusirsasana. You can adjust the right sole of the foot right up on the left inner thigh. Orient the center of your torso over the center of your leg, so a little twist. And then use your hands to support you, either on the floor, your foot, strap around the foot, or some combination of those. Going towards a nice long spine, towards folding. Inhale to look up. Exhale, release. Let's take a seated vinyasa or find your way back to down dog, however you want to get there. Just feel what you are choosing to do. These transitions are a time to integrate what you've just done. Feel the effect of what you've just done. How does it feel? Two sides might be quite different at this point. From down dog, when you're ready, left knee comes forward, pigeon pose, left side. And in this process of information gathering and healing and full expression, we can only do what we can do. We can't know things we don't know. We can't learn faster than we learn. Our bodies aren't going to do things they can't do. So it's just a continual intention, a moving towards. So I personally am moving towards full mobility for this body. As much flexibility as is healthy for this body, strength to support that flexibility, balance, well-being. And sometimes as I'm moving towards those things, I encounter pain or uncertainty or discomfort or what the heck do I do with this sensation? I have no clue what's going on. That's part of it. We can't know things we don't know, and that doesn't make the process not useful. So we just continue to come in with curiosity, doing the best we can, learning, experimenting, exploring. And growing in capacity to be with the results of that. And that includes discomfort, uncertainty, pain. The body is breaking down, especially if you're getting older. Can I be with it as it is? Let's take the upper body back up. If you have something under your hip, you can move it out of the way so you can lean to the left. This time bring the right knee forward. As best you can, come into your half hero. So you might roll your calf out of the way, get the toes to point forward, knee point straight ahead, add props, or choose a totally different pose if this is not working for you. Tuck your tail, opening up the front of the right hip. And you may want to stay on two hands. You may want to explore, how is it if I come down? No, not so good. Stay back up. Maybe go deeper. And as kids, or at least as babies, we were all very free to explore our bodies. There was no should or shouldn't do about movement. It was just our pleasure and following curiosity. And most of us got socialized out of that and told there are certain ways to move and certain ways to look and people that know how it should feel or be or whatever. And I invite you to reclaim that. This is my body. I get to be in it the way that it is and explore it. And ultimately, I'm the expert of it, even if it's an unfamiliar territory right now. So putting the work and time into getting familiar with this vehicle. To release, let's lean to the left, straighten that right leg out, maybe give a little rub to the joints, rehabilitating your knee, your ankle, and then adjusting left sole of the foot to the right inner thigh, folding over the right leg, janusirsasana. Use your hands to support you in the way that works for you. Might look different than what I'm doing, that's okay. Going towards length, towards folding, meeting your edge, and then checking for any reactivity. Did your shoulders lift? Did your jaw tighten? Can you be right at your edge and find a surrender, a softness, just the right amount of effort? Let's release. Make your way to down dog. So again, any movement transition. A vinyasa is one way to move. There's lots of other ways to move. More important than what you're doing is that you are feeling what you're doing. Maybe using some movement to even out the two sides. And then make your way to sitting, and let's come all the way back onto our backs. Bring your knees in. Take a little circle or rock with your knees. We'll set up for a couple back bends, starting with bridge. Drop your feet to the floor, hip width apart, parallel, right under your knees. And then press your feet down to lift your hips high. Once your hips are high enough, interlace your fingers behind your back and kind of rock side to side to shrug your shoulders underneath you. Spread your upper back and lower back away from one another. When the pose feels complete, come down and rest. A couple moments with back flat, letting go. When you're ready, come up again, if you feel like it. Could be same thing, could be a different back bend, anything you know or want to try. And stay as long or short as you like. Could be just 1 or 2 breaths. Could be a long hold. Whether you're back bending, transitioning, or resting, feeling what you are doing. And each time you rest, that could be the end. You'll know because you don't feel like coming up again. So if you are still back bending, keep going. There's no rush. If you are done, move on to a counter stretch. I'm going to suggest happy baby, but check in with yourself. Is there something else you want to do? Do that. If you're in happy baby, you can press the feet, hands on feet, knees towards the floor, and this can be done with any movement or in stillness. You can keep legs bent or straighten them. And just check in with yourself. If you're enjoying what you're doing, stay with it until it's done. And then what do you need to feel complete in this practice? Is there any last pose or stretch or movement that you want to do to feel complete and ready for Shavasana? Is there a part of your body that needs some help letting go? Is there a pose you like to do that you want to do now? Feel whatever it is you are doing. Each time you finish, just ask again what's needed now. When nothing else is needed, you can start getting comfortable in your final rest, Shavasana. And take your time getting set up, getting comfortable. If you want to add any props or adjust your clothing. Eventually letting go, settling into stillness, letting go of the control of your breath. slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And let this movement increase gradually through your wrists and ankles, eventually stretching out long through your arms and legs. When you're ready, bring your knees in. Roll to one side, pausing there for a moment. And use your hands to help you up to sitting. We'll bring hands together at the heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for your support in whatever ways you are doing that. Sharing what I'm doing really helps. Liking my Facebook page. I've just created a new Google group, Chandra Cantor Yoga Community, which is a place that I'll post these videos and information on future workshops and retreats. And financial contributions are very helpful. Venmo, PayPal, Patreon are all ways to do that. Check in the mail, old-fashioned. So thank you so much. Have a great day.